So we're here at the I Fish, I Hunt, I Vote official camouflaged themed conservation event put on by the Wildlife Action Fund here at the Democratic National Convention. Starting probably about 4 or 5 years ago, there started to be a kind of movement by some in the environmental movement to reach out to hunters and fishers and people that use natural wildlife for pursuits that are not normally associated with the kinds of people inside the environmental movement, for instance, killing animals. So we are at the an event that's sort of piggybacking, I think, on this idea, trying to sort of forge a coalition at the center left, particularly around environmental preservation and conservation, focusing on hunters and fishers. Let's go in.
Hi, nice to see you.
Very nice to see you, Larry.
Oh, great.
They were interested in chatting with you for just a few
Wonderful.
minutes.
Is this the first time this sort of thing is happening at the Democratic Convention?
It's the first time we've taken it to the conventions. We think it's important and in fact urgent that we take up climate change as a nation's top priority.
Yeah.
And to protect wildlife. The IPCC report warns us that about 30% of our species are going to become extinct if we don't act now to stop global warming.
Right.
And so hunters and anglers see the changes that are happening in our natural world.
Do you think there's tension in the party and the coalition vis-a-vis gun rights and how that plays in terms of supporting this constituency?
Hunters and anglers are up for grabs this year, more than they've been before, and for two reasons. One is that the recent Supreme Court decision has really lowered their worries about guns, and two, a very compelling issue with climate change. And as I shared before, they understand that and they know it's a real problem, a real threat to wildlife, and they also think that we have an obligation to spend money to help restore wildlife where they're being damaged by climate change.
You know what I want to find is Davy Crockett. Hey, pleasure to meet you. So let me ask you this question. I understand the first level, if you look at the polling, right? And I understand this first level obvious connection if you care about the outdoors and you care about conservation. That's just a general thing.
Right.
How much do you think, in the people that you know, and fellow sportsmen, that next connection to, like you were saying, a bold climate change agenda is being made in people's minds? You see what I'm saying?
More and faster than I could have ever believed
Really?
would happen.
In the last few years, you've seen.
This election will be nothing like the 2000 election. I mean, the constituencies are looking at issues so much differently. They want these issues solved. They're becoming more sophisticated about understanding. They know that you can't do one thing at a time.
Right.
Everybody you meet, particularly those who have anything to do or with a public office or are seeking one, from a school board to a city council to a mayor to the president, will have an energy speech and a climate speech ready to give you. It will not be enough to just say we're going to have an energy policy. We will have one, no matter who wins. But it will be more than what's been proposed today, or it won't be fast enough if you're interested in wildlife.
So some wise words from Davy Crockett. You know, it's always hard to tell when you come to these events, particularly at the DNC, just how much a message, no matter how appealing it might be, is actually sinking in. One of the things that struck my interest during that presentation, there was a pollster up and he showed some pretty strong polling numbers. They did a poll of 1,000 different sportsmen looking at these issues, and it really did seem to suggest that there is actual real public opinion at the heart of this coalition, not just messaging. And I think, you know, everybody knows at this point that if climate change legislation on the scale necessary is going to happen, a tremendous number of constituencies are going to have to be knit together to make it happen. And this is, I think, an encouraging sign.